Welcome to Guns, Guns, Gear, and Guns with Gary Gunderson. I am Gary Gunderson. I have here a Brinyte XP22 Scorpion. Is a rail-mounted light with dual heads, and it's pretty simple to mount. It has a switch here. And full disclosure, I was sent this light for review at no cost. Before accepting it, I did say that I would be honest in my review, and they said that was okay, as long as I told them before I post a review if it didn't work or was broken or something. And I thought that was fair. The most interesting part of this design to me is that it has two heads. I'm not certain how practical it is, but it definitely does reduce how much it sticks off the side of the rifle when it's mounted to it compared to a single head. And pretty quickly, it kind of goes into one stream of light. It's angled well, so if you cover up one head or the other, there's not much of a difference. And it appears to be the same brightness. It says it is 1300 lumens. If you press the tail switch once, it will turn on. If you press it twice, it will strobe. If you hold it for a few seconds and let go, it turns off. You can also turn it on, hold it for 5 seconds, and it will lock. There it beeps or blinks there. And now the button doesn't do anything unless you hold it for another 5 seconds. That way, if you are traveling, throw it in a range bag, you can do that and not worry about it being clicked on accidentally. It mounts with a Picatinny rail, so you have some options where you can mount it. The battery is rechargeable and attaches on the front of the device, as you can see here. Now, one design feature I think would change is change something to do with the charger, how it attaches or the port, because if you are, the way I've done it when it's not on the rifle is I leave the cord over top, because if you do it on the bottom, it can disconnect pretty easily. Now it's not doing it there, but you can see it's starting to come off, and there it's off. I think the quick connect magnetic is a good feature overall, but it can be troublesome. Also, when it's mounted on the rifle under its own weight, it can fall off. So you have to be careful and make sure when it's charging that it is charging. It may be easier to take it off when doing so and just proceeding that way. It comes with a warranty that you can fill out, simple instruction, not a lot to it. It says that it is good off a full charge for 70 minutes, and I tested it out. I fully charged it. It says it should be 2.5 hours, but the light goes green instead of red when it is fully charged. And I got 72 minutes out of it before it turned off. And after that, I was able to turn it on again for another few minutes, but the beam was noticeably dimmer. So that's something to keep in mind. My concern with rechargeable batteries on a flashlight would be, like any rechargeable battery, is diminishing returns. Eventually, it will probably come to the point where it definitely does not last for 70 minutes. I don't know how low it will go, but it definitely will not maintain that 70 minutes forever. However, I am not a big weapons light person, as in I'm not going out shooting at night a lot. So I'm fairly certain that my 70-minute charge will last quite a while, as I don't see myself using it all that often, especially the full 70 minutes. I'll probably leave it on and just not even charge it often, and occasionally just test it out, take it out, but that's really all. Mounting is easy. There's a little push here and a screw to tighten it down. And there's also a mounting bracket here. And there's another smaller size that you can switch out that comes in the box at that point. So slightly slimmer variant if you need it. But this one fits on it fine. Pretty simple snap on. And then you just tighten it down. I think finger tight is plenty good, and there is no wobble. Obviously, set up where you want. I just have it on the right side since I'm a left-hander, and I think it's pretty easy there when I have my grip on it. And you can see the profile on the rifle. It is fairly close to it. The heads do align pretty well with a natural front rail. I mean, this is definitely designed more for standard kind of AR configuration than anything, as you would expect. Taking it outside, it does a good job lighting up the area and is definitely brighter than one of my other lights rated at 800 lumens, so the brightness claim of 1300 seems to check out. I also took some photos comparing the brightness from fully charged to about 65-minute mark and a final one at 70 minutes. I did notice at the 70-minute mark, a few minutes before it shut off, it did begin to dim, but I saw no discernible difference between the fully charged and 65 minutes in. I think the controls are easy to remember and manipulate. I kind of brushed over it at the beginning, but this is not a tail cap in a traditional sense. It's more of a little hinged button, which you can see pretty clearly there. I think it's probably different than what people are used to, but I think it works without any issues, and it's easy to have your hand or thumb rest against it and depress when it is mounted on the rifle. The Scorpion certainly makes some choices. In a market where a lot of lights look the same, you have an interesting design here. The two heads, the hinge button, and the rechargeability. The main con, I think, though, is the rechargeable battery. And let me explain why. As we've all experienced with phones, over time, the charges get weaker and don't last as long. Also, if you forget to charge it and need it for night class or training, or just illumination in general, you can't simply swap batteries and be good to go. You need to have it charging for a while to be of any real use. The realistic counterpoint to my chargeability concern is actual use. Like I mentioned, this is not a cell phone. It's not used for hours every day. I'll take it out here and there, but I doubt with any real regularity. Now, if you are really serious about nighttime training and shooting and do it often, that will likely be a concern for you that may turn you away from this product, and I would understand that completely. If you're doing an immersive all-night event and need to be at the ready, not being able to swap batteries is a problem. I don't know if this is a trust your life product, but it certainly can assist in training with white light and be used well if you plan ahead and around charging, albeit only at an hour or so at a time. After all, the convenience of swapping batteries to instantly bring it back online, and potentially in a few years, will this internal battery hold a charge as well as it does now after only a couple months? Those are legitimate concerns. I do like how easy it is to take on and off, and that you don't need any tools to do so, as long as you have the right size rail portions. It held up fine over recoil. It even lists a 1 meter impact resistance, which is a little over 3 feet. I drop tested this several times on concrete, different angles, trying to make it land different ways to really test that out. And it had no issues from the impact and left it without any real scratches or damage at that height. So, final thoughts. It does what it says. It has an interesting design, though I do not think that's necessarily better or worse. It is something different, which is always refreshing, but like I said, I'm not certain if the super hardcore would really go this route. The rechargeable battery is a variable that you cannot plan around completely. If you're going night shooting or training, you would need to conserve that battery and ration it out. That is really the only drawback I see with this product. But I think for more casual use or for a little fun on the range times, I would not have an issue using this product. That being said, They gave me a link in the description where you can find the product and a discount code of some amount. They didn't tell me. I don't get any kickback from that, and as I mentioned at the beginning, I was sent this for free to review, but I paid for my ammo and time at the range out of pocket, and I am not getting any monetary compensation for the review, which is why I was able to say my personal pros and cons with the product. If you made it to the end of the video, please let me know your thoughts on this type of review. I know sometimes any sort of review like this can lead to calls of being a shill, so I was reluctant to do it. I turned down past opportunities, but I kind of thought it'd be a good chance to make some interesting content, try out a new product, and I have a few other products from a different company coming at some point in the future, which I will review honestly as well. But anyways, if you are here and you really care about this channel, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining our Discord. But certainly, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.